The United States finally shot down that Chinese spy balloon. The question is, did they get everything they wanted out of this already because they were able to use this surveillance drone the entire length of the United States?
This is not as much about the balloon and the technology, what they got. It's about testing the Biden administration's responses.
What began as a spy balloon has become a trial balloon, testing President Biden's strength and resolve. And unfortunately, the president failed that test. And that's dangerous for the American people. The president was paralyzed for an entire week by a balloon. We should have shot this balloon down over the Aleutian Islands. We should never have allowed it to transit the entire continental United States.
The geopolitical on this is not a balloon came over the United States and we were able to shoot it down. The geopolitical on this is the Chinese had the guts to launch a balloon over the United States. It traversed the entire continental United States. We take it down off the coast of Hilton Head in South Carolina, and they, meanwhile, get away with this for about 8 days. That's the test. That is what the test is.
It's just like a child tests your parents. What can you get away with? And they've realized, hey, we can get away with this. So what's coming next? Who knows?
Listen to what President Biden said when asked about this 2 days ago.
On Wednesday, when I was briefed on the balloon, I ordered the Pentagon to shoot it down on Wednesday as soon as possible. They decided, without doing damage to anyone on the ground, they decided that the best time to do that was when we got over water outside within 12-mile limit.
Joe Biden tried to take this tough tone that he ordered it shot down. But this is one of those questions where you look at the bureaucracy again being more powerful than the elected president of the United States. Yeah. He said to shoot it down on Wednesday when it was over Montana, which is one of the least populated parts of Montana, is eastern Montana. Even the governor said they could have made it secure. So they were okay with shooting it down over Montana, the leader of Montana. And Joe Biden was rebuffed
by his own
military. And he didn't say, do what I said.
If you can't defend from a balloon over Montana, the chance that you're going to help defend Taiwan is very low. And that's what Xi Jinping is testing. I was just having a meeting with a former counterpart of mine when I was Secretary of State, and he said all of Europe was watching this balloon saying, oh, my gosh, these are the folks that want us to do more and defend ourselves more. This is our friend, our ally, our partner. They are befuddled by the fact that this president allowed this to happen for 5 days, and our adversaries surely saw that too.
And now they're also saying, which is interesting to me, oh, by the way, the Trump administration doesn't know this, but there were some balloons that came over during their administration too. They just didn't know that happened.
Pentagon said it happened 3 times in the Trump administration, but no one who worked for Trump or Trump would have known because they didn't find out until after the Biden administration came in.
So the government, the military had it.
What are they comparing this to? Because I think that's an apple to orange situation, because this you could see from the ground.
Correct.
The FAA had to get involved. So there's no way to hide that from the previous administration. Now,
they closed down airspace.
They have satellites, and they have things that are outside of our they're outside of our
60,000 feet.
Right. Our jurisdiction, technically.
Yes.
That's different. But satellites are not, hovering 20,000 feet above your nuclear site.
Well, the military knew about it, but the Trump officials, the Secretary of State, the president did not know about it?
It sounds like the Biden administration has a time machine because they're accusing this of happening 3 times while you were serving in the administration, but you didn't know about it. They didn't find out about it until you all were out and the Biden administration came in. Your reaction to that statement?
I certainly never knew about it. No one briefed me on a balloon the size of 3 buses flying over the continental United States for a handful of days. I think I would have known as CIA director or as Secretary of State. They now say it did and that they just pieced it together. I am befuddled by that. And I think they're just trying to tell a wolf tale to cover up what they know was a major failure of their security policy over the last handful of days.
We canceled the trip with Blinken, which was really...
You know what the Chinese wrote back says? He was going to meet with Xi.
Yes.
The response was, we were never going to meet. He was going to meet with his counterpart.
Yeah.
But he was not going to be. I mean, so they were already ready for that move.
No, they did this knowing this.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to put up a balloon like this,
the Chinese Communist Party
you're going to get caught.
This. Don't kid yourself.
They wanted to get caught.
Yeah.
Like everyone is saying, this was to get caught intentionally. This is when you start pushing around to see where's your red line.
Yeah, well, our red line is we waited a week.